Hi there. We continue our course with second foundation topic of SAP ERP. The reason we are exploring this topic is that apart from accounting knowledge, you should also know technical aspects of how SAP works and what additional data you can bring to your accounting transaction data from non-FI SAP modules. In this session, we will cover the followings: understanding what ERP is and why it's essential, exploring ERP modules and their purposes illustrated through the example of SAP ECC6 ERP system. Taking a brief pause to grasp the distinctions between configuration, master, and transaction data. SAP ERP modules as data sources. Exploring how to leverage diverse data for our finance transaction data. Examining examples from SAP Finance and non-finance modules, as well as non-SAP applications. Quickly examining the most popular SAP tables in FI, financial accounting, CO, controlling, SD, sales distribution, and MM, material management modules. Concluding with a look at how to find the necessary table and field names for our data model, along with some tricks to identify relationships between tables. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so what is ERP? Let's explain it in example. Imagine the situation where sales team in our imaginary company called Fruity Corp received purchase order from third-party customer. In purchase order, customer ABC Ltd states that they want to buy 1,000 boxes of juice. Our sales specialists need a sales software for registering this transaction in the system and proceed with creation of sales order. However, it's common knowledge that creating a sales order is not the only document or action in end-to-end process. Additionally, we must verify our stock, ensuring we have those 1,000 boxes of juices in our warehouse, which involves using material software. If they are available, we proceed to ship them and issue a shipping document or confirmation using distribution software. Finally, we need to issue an invoice to our customer, and for this we need finance software. To streamline these processes, it's crucial for these software systems to be interconnected. This enables effective communication among teams, facilitating seamless data flow across different functional areas. And that's where ERP software comes in. It houses these diverse software systems, fostering interconnection so that people can collaborate effectively and data can flow seamlessly between different functional areas. To put it simply, when these software systems are interconnected, the entire system is referred to as ERP. The definition of ERP, which stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, is that it's a software solution that helps business to run entire operations by connecting almost all internal functional areas like finance, HR, supply chain, and so on. Over the last couple of decades, ERP systems have undergone significant evolution, and modern ERPs now come with specific requirements. Notably, they now often come with cloud solutions, eliminating the need for customers to invest in hardware and infrastructure for system maintenance. This not only reduces cost of, but also facilitates easy scalability. The latest generation of ERPs features advanced automation, benefiting both ERP experts and end users with minimal technical skills. This improvement greatly enhances productivity, especially in areas like finance. End users can effortlessly code repetitive journal entries, which the system then posts regularly on predetermined schedule. Moreover, contemporary ERP systems have the capability to communicate with the other ERPs. For example, if properly configured, purchase orders generated within our SAP system can be automatically transmitted to our suppliers' SAP or non-SAP ERP systems using a standardized electronic format signals. This streamlined process eliminates manual data entry, reduces errors, and accelerates the procurement cycle, leading to more efficient and accurate order fulfillment. Last but not least, the latest ERP systems are equipped with AI capabilities, providing valuable support to end users. They can identify errors through animal detection algorithms, assist in decision-making with predictive analytics, and even recommend actions and next steps using models that analyze ERP users' behaviors and speech. AI-driven insights significantly enhance decision quality and overall operational efficiency. There are numerous ERP systems globally, but according to various statistics, the most popular and widely used ones include SAP, Oracle, NetSuite, and Microsoft Dynamics. SAP stands out as the market leader in ERP systems, boasting nearly 500,000 customers in over 180 countries. Renowned for its robust functionality, flexibility, and scalability, the latest version is SAP S/4 system, with the previous one being ECC6. Oracle's ERP system is distinguished by its cloud-based architecture, providing greater accessibility and flexibility to enhance business process and improve efficiency. Microsoft ERP system is recognized for its user-friendly interface and seamless integration with other Microsoft products. Throughout this course, our primary focus will be on SAP ECC6 ERP. However, the accounting data we will learn in this course will be quite similar to the one in S/4 as well. Now that we have definition of ERP, let's take a closer look at ERP modules. Given that this course revolves around SAP and accounting for data professionals, our exploration of ERP modules, including SAP ECC6, will consistently approach questions from finance and accounting perspective. Our primary focus will be on the SAP FI module, which is the financial accounting module of SAP ERP. In comparing the FI and CO modules, where CO stands for controlling, it's essential to note that FI covers mainly bookkeeping and financial accounting tasks. This involves entering accounting transactions and gathering information about the balance sheet, profit and loss, cash flow, and external requirements like taxes, accounts receivable, accounts payable, and etc. On the other hand, CO primarily serves internal needs for cost centers reporting and sales and profit analysis, aiding in the management and planning of business process. SAP SD module, or sales and distribution, handles all sales operations. Here you can find transactions related to purchase orders, sales orders, and other sales activities. The module or material management focus on managing master records and activities related to materials or products. This includes tasks such as purchasing of materials and so on. Since in this course we concentrate on accounting transaction and supporting data, we will occasionally touch on the other three modules, CO, SD, and However, we will not touch topics of other modules extensively as they have less direct connection to financial operations. While financial accounting and controlling modules are often referred to collectively as FICO and treated as a single comprehensive module, it's crucial to note that they are distinct. So let's break them down into two separate modules in our illustration. Before exploring these models as data sources for finance transactions, let's understand the types of data in ERP. This comprehension will offer us better insights into the data we will be working with. In ERP systems, we primarily encounter three types of data that we need to understand: configuration, master, and transactional data. When our IT department first acquired the ERP implementation analyst had to configure the system, and these tasks will generate configuration data stored in configuration tables. Examples of such data is country codes, company codes, language, plant locations, and etc. All these details constitute configuration data stored in tables starting with T. On top of this configuration data, we initiate the creation of objects that we will use in our transactions. These objects encompass GL accounts, customer or vendor accounts, various products or users. This type of information is referred to as master record. Finally, transaction data revolves around daily operations, purchases, sales, document creation, and more. It utilizes information from both configuration and master data. The distinctive characteristic of these three types of information lies in their stability. Configuration data is highly stable and rarely changed. We set up company codes, create chart of accounts, document types, and more. But how often we might need to create new company code? Perhaps once a year if our company opens a new office. Similarly, how frequently do we create a new chart of accounts, document types, countries, or languages? Very rarely. That's why configuration data is very stable. Master data, when compared to configuration data, is more dynamic, but still relatively stable compared to transaction data. We might need to create a new customer, vendor, or GL account, or modify addresses or bank details on the customer side. However, the likelihood of this change occurring every hour or even daily is quite low. Therefore, while more dynamic than configuration data, master data remains relatively stable. This is in contrast to transaction data, which is highly dynamic. Transactions occur almost every second or minute or hour, resulting in hundreds, thousands, and sometimes even millions of data points every day in the system. Here is an approximate visualization of the daily frequency of new entries or changes in these tables during each fiscal year. Transaction data exhibits high dynamism, master records have lower frequency, and configuration data has an extremely low frequency. It's essential to note that altering any configuration data in the system typically requires substantial efforts and thorough testing. This is crucial because such changes may have a significant impact on the entire system or certain parts of it. Analyzing this information from a data professional standpoint, we can apply it as follows. For instance, if there is a transactional journal entry in client system 500 and company code Italy 1, and you require additional details about the company code, document type, or posting key, you would need to explore configuration tables starting with letter T. These tables contain information such as company code name, language settings, posting key descriptions, and more. On the other side, if you are dealing with transactions involving general ledger, customer or vendor accounts, utilizing material or asset numbers, and you need information about these business objects, you will turn to master data. Understanding the relevant master record tables that store the necessary information becomes essential. We will discuss this aspect in upcoming topics within this lesson. Lastly, if you are working with accounting transactions like journal entries, sales order, purchase orders, etc., these fall under transactional data. To assess the required information, you would refer to transactional data tables storing the details you need. Although we will provide a brief overview of these tables, the upcoming lesson will specifically focus on deep dive into transactional data for finance and accounting, specifically BSEG and BKPF tables. Now that we have clarified the distinction between configuration master and transactional information, let's revisit our discussion about SAP modules to explore it further. So we emphasize that the SAP FI module is our primary focus area. Let's bring the insights we have just gained onto our screen. From the perspective of financial accounting, or FI, our primary tables for transactional data include BKPF and BSEG, which we'll delve into our upcoming session. SAP configuration tables are numerous. Examples include T001, primary for company codes, and T003 for FI document types, among others. Master records here pertain to GL account master data and identifiable by tables starting with S key. Now let's explore our sample transactional data and examine how we can enrich our dataset with additional features using information from various SAP modules. Our initial example involves obtaining additional features from configuration tables. In this case, we have a transaction where a journal is posted in company code ITA1 with document type DZ. Knowing that company code and document type information is stored and managed at the configuration level, we need to refer to configuration tables to gather more details about them. In this case, to obtain the description of the company code, we refer to configuration table T001, using the field name for text of company code. Likewise, for the description of the document type, we bring table T003 with the field name of document type. Both configuration tables are primarily associated with the FI and CO modules. Moving on, another enhancement to consider is adding additional features to objects, such as GL account. In this specific case, we incorporated the GL account explanation sourced from table SKAT. However, it's possible to include even more details about the GL account, such as whether it's a balance sheet or profit and loss account, if manual posting is allowed, if it's a reconciliation account, and more. You may also require master data information for the cost center, which is stored in the CO module. In this example, we have included two distinct features for the same cost center. The first is the cost center name from CS key T table using the key text field. And the second is the cost center valid true feature, which serves as an expiration date for the cost object. Next, you may require supplementary information for the material object involved in your transaction. Further details about materials are stored in model. In this instance, we have included an additional descriptive field for the material from the MKA T table. Also, if you need more information about projects, you might require data from the PS model specifically related to work breakdown structures called WBS. For sales and distribution related data like sales and delivery, the SD model comes into play. To gather information about employees or finance users, you might need the HERM model. It's important to note that access to certain information may be restricted based on your company's privacy and confidentiality policies. Now, let's examine the process with more detailed steps. Let's start from the beginning and go through it step by step. Typically, most of our finance data projects involve the use of BSEG and BKPF tables, which are transactional tables. We need to merge them to create our new data frame. We will explore this procedure more comprehensively in our upcoming session focusing on BSEG and BKPF tables. Now we have our generated output data called new accounting data. Let's consider these features from the BSEG and BKPF tables, but we also require additional data from various sources. If we need information related to GL accounts, it's crucial to remember from our accounting lessons that GL accounts are predefined based on GL general ledger in the chart of accounts. So before merging SKAT or other GL account master tables with our data frame, we need to include the emerging features of chart of accounts from T001 table. We are aware that every company code is assigned to one chart of account. Once we have this chart of account feature, we can seamlessly join our data with SKAT to bring in additional fields. All these tables we discussed are stored in SAP FI model. The light blue colored tables represent BSEG and BKPF transactional tables. The green one is for master data, in this case for GL accounts, and the orange one is configuration data, here related to SAP FICO configuration. Next, if we want to incorporate any features related to cost object master data, which is stored in the CO module, we might require information about the controlling area. The controlling area is configuration element in the CO module and plays a crucial role in linking our finance transaction data with cost object master data. In certain cases, you can merge tables directly without using any interim features or table. KNA1 customer master data is one such case. You just need to know the client and customer number to bring the customer name into your data. Now that we have covered SAP modules and the information stored in them, let's briefly discuss some of the most popular SAP tables that most probably you will need in your projects. Let's take a brief look at our four main modules tables in SAP ECC6. These modules, namely CO, SD, and MM, have more regular data exchange and are thus more linked informationally to FI than other SAP modules. Firstly, let's explore SAP FI tables, the finance module tables. We already know that the primary transaction data resides in tables BKPF and BSEG. In the newer SAP version S/4HANA or S4, there is also the ACDOCA table, known as the Universal Journal Entry line item, although it's not the focus of our current lesson. Alongside this, there are secondary accounting and asset tables that can complement our main transaction data. Moreover, SAP FI encompasses various tables related to accounts receivable, AR, accounts payable, AP, and asset accounting. Here is a concise list of the most common tables of SAP FI model. In SAP CO, you will find transaction data linked to cost center and profit center accounting, alongside master record and configuration data. These tables are various sources for cost accounting related information. Now on your screen, you can see SD sales distribution related tables. While we will not explore them in details, it's good to be aware that if you are seeking information on sales documents, delivery, or billing, these tables might be worth considering. The last model we briefly touched on is Material Management model. Here you can find transaction data related to purchase documents, inventory control, and invoice control, also known in SAP FI as goods receipt and invoice receipt. If you are looking for details regarding material master or suppliers, these tables could be helpful. It's worth mentioning that we have shown vendor master data under the model, but it might be also be managed from the FI model since it's frequently used there as well. Similarly, customer master records are primarily related to SD, but they can be managed from SD, FI, or even CRM models. If you ever need more details about tables, the best place to search for SAP table information is Google. I highly recommend it. As you might have noticed from the previous information, SAP follows a certain naming convention, as illustrated on your screen now. Although there might be some exceptions, this convention is for your awareness, helping you navigate SAP data using these names and intuitively understand them. Before we move on to our next lesson, which is about finance transaction data, BSEG and BKPF tables, I will show you a few tips on finding SAP tables, fields, and table relationships in case the popular tables provided earlier are not sufficient. So how to find SAP table and field names. If you are finance end user or have access to end user transaction code in SAP, you can open any transaction using transaction code and try to find the field and table where the feature is stored. While this method may not always be effective, it's worth a try. The reason why it might not show you information is due to multiple calculations or mappings involved in bringing that field to your report. To access this information, navigate to the field you want, right-click with the mouse button, and then press the F1 Help button. Then you should see the Performance Assistant opened. Click on Technical Information. If there is a direct relationship to the source of the field you are looking for, then you will see the table and field names in the technical information. But it might be also involved aggregated fields or several tables used to obtain the information you are looking for. In such cases, you will not be able to get this information from SAP End User Report. In such cases, you can search for the information you need on Google and look for answers in SAP communities. Go to Google and type your question. Add keywords such as SAP, tables, and etc. Check if somebody has already asked the same question and if the answer is available. There is a large community with discussions where you will likely find answers to your questions about SAP tables and fields. If your question hasn't been asked before, feel free to register and post your question. Remember, the best place to search for SAP table information is SAP TCOD or transaction code, and then you can also use Google. If you still cannot find what you need, consider reaching out to SAP team in your company. Describe the problem and the information you are looking for and provide some sample of data to help them better understand your request. Hopefully, they will be able to assist you. While SAP stands out as one of the most powerful ERP systems, it's also renowned for its complexity. Learning SAP is a continuous journey, and to enhance your expertise in SAP ERP and tables relationship, consider engaging in ongoing learning. A great approach is to explore SAP documentation or articles authored by SAP experts. These resources can significantly contribute to elevating your ERP knowledge. For instance, Solomon Christopher has released a paper that describes SAP tables relationship, focusing on the most commonly used ones. You can download it for free by registering on the website. While you may not need all the information presented, taking a look can provide valuable insight into the overall logic of how tables function in SAP. The paper covers relationship in SAP Finance and controlling modules, offering visuals and information on GL, AR, and AP process in SAP Finance, and some MM modules data models. Open source platforms offer numerous such valuable resources. A quick Google search can lead you to more learning materials. In addition to the previously mentioned tips, I highly recommend adding the Linux web page to your browser bookmarks. If you work with SAP data regularly, it becomes a valuable source of information. If you are a data professional who has just started learning SAP, then you can use Linux for discovering new tables and fields. It provides additional details such as field lengths, data types, and possible values for standard configurations. You can identify key fields and explore relational tables for specific fields. These details are crucial for coding projects or visualizing features in your BI project. There may be other similar web pages for these purposes. If you find another one that suits you better, feel free to use it. Keep in mind that this website and generally Google primarily provides information about SAP standard tables and fields. If your SAP team has implemented customizations and the information you seek is stored in those custom tables and fields, it's advisable to consult with your SAP team directly. Finding details about customization in open source platforms is challenging and almost impossible. We reached to the end of our session about SAP ERP and its models. Hopefully you found this lesson useful. Our next session will be about SAP Finance Transaction Data Tables, BSEG and BKPF. Thank you for watching.